wait, because
Look who it is! Hey, where's the camera? Where are we looking? Here.
There we go.
All right, so we are pre-recording an interview to air on Iheart Radio Charleston. Hey, it's Kelly Golden. What's up?
Hey, Kelly.
Yeah.
Hey, Sandy Morkel.
Look at Sandy.
Sandrina.
And Tommy.
All right, so this is going to air later on this week and also this weekend to get you to come out to the Impact Bash.
Woo! Yes.
Yeah. All right, so
Yes.
G-Man, my producer in the other room, you want to roll on, you guys ready to roll?
Ready to rock and roll.
On 3, 2, 1. You're listening to the soulful sounds of To Be Free, Zandrina Dunning in the background there, Tommy Healing. Guys, how are you?
Great. How
Fantastic.
are you?
Yes, so Sandy Morkel also in the house, all representing Save More Kids. Sandy, fresh off of a flight from Puerto Rico. You look great. Nice tan.
Thank you.
For everyone out in the radio world jealous, she looks fabulous.
Yes, bienvenido.
Yes.
Thank you. Gracias.
So the Impact Bash is coming up on Sunday. For some of you, that's later this afternoon from 4 until 8. At Prohibition downtown, they've expanded their patio outside.
Yeah.
So we're all gonna be there. And I mentioned Zandrina Dunning, Tommy Healing. These are both low country musicians in the house, just playing some of your music here. You're going to be performing at Prohibition at the Impact Bash coming up later this afternoon and evening. And it's all about Save More Kids. Can you, Sandy, give us a little bit of background about Save More Kids?
Yes, Save More Kids is a nonprofit organization that's dedicated to transforming the future of Liberia through its youth. So it's an organization that's helping to inspire, encourage, create the future generation of in an entrepreneurial way, so that we can have peace in Liberia and prosperity, the things that we enjoy here in the U.S.
I think a lot of people don't realize the connection between Charleston and Liberia. Because some may say, well, gosh, we've got kids here that need help. Well, the connection's actually pretty cool.
It really is. Actually, Liberia was founded as the first democracy in Africa, founded by freed slaves from Charleston, actually between the years of 1822 and 1847. So even before the Civil War, there were folks that were going back to Africa and actually established. It was not a European colony. It wasn't an English colony or a Spanish colony. It was actually a no man's land with tribes there, and they went back and actually established it as the first democracy as the country of Liberia. And Liberia means liberation.
Yes,
That's right.
so neat. And so it's just neat how Save More Kids came here to our studios by way of a co-worker who went to church with Edwina McGill, and it's just incredible. Edwina being Liberian herself, a graduate of the Citadel, and so just really neat our low country connections here to Save More Kids.
And even my connection to it was through Mayor Tecklenburg. John Tecklenburg and his wife Sandy got exposed to Save More Kids through an event, Aid to Africa, and really introduced me to the founder, Q Carmew, and I fell in love with it, and I'm now serving on the board and going back for my second trip to Liberia.
So exciting! And I know that Zandrina and Tommy, you're both going to be a part of that trip coming up in May.
Yeah.
You ready for how long is the travel, Sandy?
Oh, it's probably about 12, 14 hours, maybe a little bit longer. It actually takes about a day to get there because of all the connections and all that.
We're ready. Right, Tommy?
But we're going through Casablanca, though, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, wow. Now that's a story to be able to share and tell. So we mentioned both of your local musicians. Zandrina, is it true you just opened for Darius at Colonial Alliance this past Wednesday?
Yes. I sing background with Patrick Davis, who's a wonderful close friend of Darius Rucker, who wrote some things with him. So, it's always a pleasure, always fun singing with him.
Wow. And so, and you obviously sing with Tommy. We heard To Be Free here opening up the program.
We did that. How many years ago?
3, 4.
Wow, that long ago?
Yeah, something
like
like
gosh.
And so now, not only are you going to be, we'll get a taste of it performing at the Impact Bash at Prohibition. Again, it's Sunday 4 to 8 p.m. downtown.
Yep.
It's all about saving more kids. SaveMoreKids.org. You can get more information.
Yep.
Not only about the bash if you can or can't make it, but how to donate as
Exactly. $25 at the door, but if you want to get a tree, go on SaveMoreKids.org. Get your $20, plant your $20 seed.
Yeah, and Sandy, can you explain the rubber trees? Because I don't think a lot of people go, rubber trees?
Rubber
That was my question. I was like, what is Rubber Tree? That was my first question.
So the ultimate goal with Save More Kids is to transform the country, but we're doing that through building of these multi-purpose empowerment schools that are going to be built in each of the 15 counties. But in order to fund that, we actually are taking an entrepreneurial approach and actually planting rubber trees in Liberia. The funds that are generated after the rubber tree grows, it takes about 4 years to grow. After it grows, the income that comes in from that, selling it to the rubber industry, which Firestone has been doing in Liberia for 100 years, so it's well established. It's a good place to grow rubber trees.
Doesn't that blow your mind?
Yeah. So that income then is going to fund this master plan over the next 20 or 30 years. So it's amazing. It's self-supporting. We're in a 3-year campaign to get these rubber trees planted, so that after that point it will become self-sustaining, and all the funds will be needed. All the funds that are needed will be generated through that entrepreneurial approach.
So the music that we heard, Tommy, are you going to be recording some of this with Mayor Tecklenburg? We know he's a musician.
Yeah, we were supposed to have a recording session on Sunday, last Sunday, but there was a funeral of Park Ravenel that he had to attend, so we weren't able to fit it in, unfortunately. But
do we know if he's going to be making an appearance on Sunday?
Yeah,
the mayor will be there.
We'll be there. Yep.
We're going to see him jam.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so we have a studio recording going on where John Mayer.
John Mayer.
Wow!
Bigger than we thought.
Mayor John Mayor John will be playing piano on the song, and then also will be attending at the event on April 9th. And we're also recording the choir with everybody that will be attending, including Mayor John Tecklenburg and his lovely wife, First Lady Sandy Tecklenburg, and more Rotary members and city officials, and of course yourself.
Yes,
Kelly
I'll be there.
Our MC.
Our MC, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So from 4 to 8 on Sunday, again, for some of you that's tomorrow, others that's coming up today, Prohibition downtown, they're expanding their back patio. We're praying for wonderful weather. I'm sure it'll be lovely.
We're going to speak that into existence.
So you're all going back to Liberia in May to, you mentioned Q, the founder of Save More Kids. I mean, the idea that I've just fallen in love with his entire family, because they started, it's one thing to adopt a child or 2 or 3, or, I mean, how many children have they adopted at this point?
44.
44! I mean, they opened up an orphanage and adopted. They didn't have to adopt not one child.
Right.
And they adopted 44 children.
Yeah. This was after the long civil war. There were 14-year civil war there in Liberia. Awful, awful atrocities that went on, including child soldiers, lots of horrible things that these kids have been subjected to. Their parents were all killed. So these 44 children are now being raised by Q Carmu's father and mother in Liberia. They actually, Q's mom and dad came here during the war, escaped the war, raised their children here, was comfortable here, living the American dream, decided that they were gonna make good on a promise that his mom made to God to go back and to help the children of Liberia. So they went back to the family home that was still there, and actually ended up adopting 44 children, and they're all doing great. They're amazing kids. The oldest is about 19. They're all in school still. The oldest one will get to graduate this coming year. So really exciting.
And these are kids that you're going to be playing music for, right?
Yeah.
This is a first ever trip for y'all, and then you're going to be sharing your music with them. That'll be exciting.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah.
She's already crying.
I know.
She's already
I
crying.
know. It's gonna
Every
be.
haven't left the airport.
I
Oh my
Stop crying, Sandra.
It's all good.
This is
It's all
only
good.
the beginning, all right? Because I've seen, with this
Yeah.
Liberia trip, I've seen grown men cry. Not going to
Yes.
throw anyone under the bus.
Hey.
Yeah.
But longshoremen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr.
Candy
Riley.
Riley.
just
We
saying.
love you.
Yeah.
Under the bus.
Yeah. So, yeah, threw him right there. But honestly, the things that we take for granted every day, I think
Yes.
that's something that Sandy, you probably could speak to about Save More Kids in this orphanage. I mean, I can only speak to the heart behind it. I mean, these are people who just make you want to be a better person every day.
Absolutely.
It's so true. It's so true. And the way that they're going about it is just tremendous. And actually, the organization Save More Kids was founded after Q Carmew, who's now about 33 and has a family of his own living in California, Sacramento. He decided that it wasn't enough to just save those 44 kids. He wanted to save more kids, and that's how Save More Kids was founded. They help support the efforts of those 44 kids, but this master plan is truly going to change future generations. It's just so inspiring.
I mean, it's like there's holes in the road. You got to repair the road just to get the truck down the road to get to the orphanage. I mean, there's so many obstacles.
Yes, just things that we take for granted here. It's just the country still, the war ended in 2003. Still to this day, in 2017, there are still roads that are just torn up. There are buildings in downtown Monrovia, the capital city, that are still in rubbles. Like, just, you can see where the shots have been fired, and it's just horrible. We went to a print shop one day in Monrovia to try to get something printed. We had to go to 3 different print shops because they didn't have electricity. This is the purpose of that business, was to print, and they didn't have electricity at that given time until we went to the 3rd one. So the things that we take for granted every day, they just don't have there. So instead of waiting for the government to get their act together to be able to address these problems like roads and infrastructure, we think that it's time for the people there helping to be able to do that on their own through an entrepreneurial approach, and really encouraging their own, creating their own jobs, creating the opportunities for their future on their own. And we're just helping by being able to create the infrastructure and the strategic plan to get there, and we're so excited about that coming to fruition.
So you can come support the efforts to change the course of the future in Liberia through the next generation, as Sandy was saying here. And listen to the sounds of Zandrina Dunning and Tommy Healing, and Sandy Morkel will be there with Save More Kids, and so will First Lady Sandy, and also the mayor are going to be playing some tunes as well. So we can talk more about Save More Kids at the Impact Bash coming up. For some folks, that's tomorrow, April 9th on Sunday. For others, that's later today, 4 to 8 p.m. on that newly expanded back patio at Prohibition downtown.
That's right. We also have Joe Fisher. Joe Fisher is coming to perform, and it's a duo with Bryn Wilson.
Nice.
And also we have the Secrets band. So not only Tommy Gilling and friends, but Tommy Healing and friends, but the Zandrina Dunning Experience, and then Joe Fisher and Secrets too. So
Yep.
Yes.
There's
It'll
a
be
lot
amazing.
of exciting stuff.
Amazing
Very
caliber
short
of
amount of
everything.
time.
I know
So
it.
get there by 4.
Yeah, exactly.
and stay until 8. You
Yes.
have to.
Yeah.
And walk-ups are welcome.
Yes, $25 at the door.
And now you know what your money goes for. So if you can't make it, as you heard Sandy explain the Rubber Tree Project, you can go buy a tree for $20 online.
So,
Yeah, just takes $20 to plant and maintain a tree for 4 years until it's actually generating income. So that $20 goes a long way.
And that's SaveMoreKids.org. Zandrina and Tommy and Sandy, I will see you on Sunday. And Mayor
See you.
too.
Thank you so much.
John Mayor or Mayor John?
Awesome job, you guys.
I was going to say, Tommy, get Sandy a tissue, because
I
I saw your eyes as well.
Oh, we're here.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace out, y'all.
Thanks for checking in, y'all.
Y'all. Y'all.